bring you good tidings. The quarterfinal is set to start for the Women Africa Cup of Nations today, Wednesday, 13th July. And ahead of this, I want us to talk about teams that may likely be participating in the Women World Cup come 2023 for the very first time. So we have 5 teams that have never gone past the group stages of the WAFCON in previous years, but have done so in this edition and will be out to reach the semi-finals for the very first time. And the grandest of all prizes that they would like to have or wish to have is reach the World Cup, because by virtue of qualifying to the semi-finals, you definitely have one of the tickets to the Women's World Cup in 2023. The 5 teams to have never gone past the group stages in the previous edition of this tournament is none other than host Morocco. It shock you? Well, host Morocco, Tunisia, Zambia, Botswana, and Senegal. It shock you? Okay. Let's talk about these teams. Let's start with how did they qualify. I would go through this with the fixtures as they have been planned by CAF. So we'll start first with Zambia and Senegal. These 2 teams that will be opening the quarterfinals at 6 p.m. Zambia, how did they qualify? Zambia was drawn in Group B alongside Cameroon, Togo, and Tunisia. Zambia played Cameroon and played a virgin tie with Cameroon, won Tunisia 1-0 and later crushed Togo in the last day of play. Zambia has participated in this tournament before, with the most recent being in 2008. They were knocked out in the group stage of the tournament. That was before 2014 that they participated and were still knocked out in the group stage of the tournament. Zambia has the experience in an international tournament because this team has played in the Olympic Games but have never taken part in the World Cup. So reaching the quarterfinals is even the very first for Zambia, and reaching the semi-finals will be the very first for Zambia, and possibly getting one of the, the juicy package, or the juicy thing about the package of reaching semi-finals is going to the World Cup. So it will be the very first for Zambia, and you need to see why these teams are really motivated. For Senegal made her debut in 2012, but were knocked out in the group stage of the tournament. Senegal later came back this time around and was placed in Group A alongside host Morocco, Burkina Faso, and Uganda. Senegal started her campaign beautifully well against Uganda. 2-0, played 1-0 against Burkina Faso and lost 1-0 to Morocco. So they placed second in Group A with 6 points. Now, Senegal, whose team is made up of very young and local players, is out for her very very first semi-finals and her very first appearance in the World Cup. It's going to be a tight fixture between these two, because these 2 teams, I would say Zambia's experience in the Olympics makes her more fit to go to the World Cup, but it will have to be decided on the pitch at 6 p.m. So these 2 teams, if one of them qualifies to the semi-finals, will be making their very first appearance in the World Cup. Let's talk about another fixture, and that will be between Morocco and Botswana. Botswana's case is quite different from Senegal and Zambia, who have participated in the tournament before. Botswana, this is her very first WAFCON, and so reaching the quarterfinals is already an achievement for this team, who is making her first appearance. And going to the semi-finals, which will eventually mean they have qualified for the World Cup, it's going to be like a national celebration for this team. The Mars really need this. The Mars, who were drawn in Group C alongside heavyweights like Nigeria, South Africa, and Burundi, and still managed to come out third. It's a beautiful thing for the Mars, and it will be difficult for Botswana. Remember, Botswana is playing in Morocco. They are playing the host, Morocco, who has gone to the Women Africa Cup of Nations in 1998 and in 2000, but were sent packing in the group stage. Also has never crossed the group stage in 2022, where they are now in the quarterfinals. Morocco with the home crowd, may just be sailing through to the semis, and who knows, picking up their World Cup ticket. So it's going to be very difficult for Botswana. But just like Botswana, Morocco doesn't have the World Cup experience. Morocco doesn't have even the quarterfinals experience. So it will just be new energy, a new thing for both teams. But Morocco's advantage is the home crowd, the home support. So it's going to be beautiful on the side of Morocco. But if Botswana creates an upset, then Botswana might just be the one, and Morocco will have to wait if they want to ever bet Spain in the World Cup. But this is Morocco's chance, and if Morocco doesn't take this chance, then they will forever live to regret it, because you already have the home crowd supporting you. You have a debutant right in front of you, and so you should take it. Use that to your advantage. You might not have reached the quarterfinals, but you've participated in the tournament twice, so you should already have the experience of playing in the Women Africa Cup of Nations. So I think those aspects will be working in favor of Morocco. But who knows? Botswana may eventually cause an upset because of what they did to South Africa, pinning the team down, in fact matching them for 45 minutes and later losing up around the 88th minute where South Africa was able to score a goal. It tells you that the Mars are no easy nuts to crack. Now, another exciting fixture or another team that may likely be making it to the World Cup for a very first time, if she's able to beat her opponent in this quarterfinals, is Tunisia. Tunisia made their debut in this World Women Africa Cup of Nations in 2008, but we sent packing in the group stage, and so Tunisia is back. Tunisia was one of the teams that qualified as the best dead. The team was placed in Group B alongside Togo, Zambia, Cameroon. Won her first game against Togo and lost to Zambia and Cameroon. This team has the potentials to make, every team that reaches the quarterfinals already has the potentials, the World Cup potentials, but it depends on how they're able to bring it out against their opponent. So Tunisia already has the WAFCON experience in 2008. They might not have reached the quarterfinals, but they have reached it this time around, and the team will want to live up to expectations. Will obviously bring in their A game against South Africa. Well, now that I talk about it, their opponent is South Africa. It's going to be a tough one for Tunisia, but may the best team win among them. So these are the 5 teams that will or may likely take part in the World Cup for the very first time and take part in the semi-finals of the WAFCON for the very first time. Let me take it over again. Tunisia, Botswana, Morocco, Zambia, and Senegal. These are the 5 teams that may likely be there. Over the years, we've seen teams like Cameroon make it to the World Cup. We've seen South Africa, we've seen Nigeria, we've seen Equatorial Guinea, and it will be good to see 2 new faces, because obviously South Africa, I know, will be part of the team, and between Cameroon and Nigeria, one of the recurrent faces will be absent, and so it's left for 2 spots. 2 debutants, 2 new faces to make it to the World Cup. But in all, we wish the teams the very best. Let them have, enjoy the moment and get the opportunity to live these tournaments in the most beautiful way. I remain Oni Landanet. Do make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share this topic. Share this video. Make sure you comment. Who do you think will be making it to the World Cup, or who do you want to see at the World Cup? Let's get very, very interactive. But for now, bye-bye.